Thank you everyone for turning out today. It's a pleasure to be here. It's an honor to be here representing cyclists from the city of Houston and share a few thoughts with you about what's taking place as our city makes progress moving forward. So first, just to make sure everyone understands who Bike Houston is, we are a 501c3, a nonprofit organization. We have a mission of promoting safe cycling in the city of Houston and working to improve the quality of life in our city. We do that through a variety of channels. We're working hard to advance the planning objective within the city and working with the planning department, Patrick Walsh, on our bicycle master plan as a first step in a process of defining which sort of infrastructure improvements the city needs to have to make it a world-class cycling city. We will subsequently develop certain corridors, preferred corridors for moving around the city, which will allow cyclists to get off of the high volume, fast-moving streets and travel on a more pleasant, safer routes to move where they need to go. We're also working on education. That means educating both motorists as well as cyclists about their responsibilities and rights. This is a journey that all cities have to go on, and it's the sort of thing that the more people cycle, the more people learn. And you learn by doing and by communicating, and we really appreciate the work that Mayor Parker is doing to advance our public service announcements and participate in these sorts of events, because it's only through communicating with the public that we'll be able to make progress on these issues. I think it's a responsibility of all people to engage themselves and understand how they need to behave when they're around cars as a cyclist, or how they need to behave when they're around cyclists as a motorist. And certainly, there's an educational process for the city administration, for the police department, and everyone as our city becomes more dense and more populated, and people work to find alternative ways of transportation. And then finally, we're working on the issue of enforcement, and that means cooperating with the police department to ensure that laws are enforced that promote safe cycling. That means enforcement of laws against cyclists in situations where cyclists are breaking the law and putting themselves at risk, but also where motorists are breaking the law and putting cyclists at risk. And this isn't just a cycling issue. Every time you get on the highways, you see how many fatalities have been in the state of Texas. We're over 1,000 already this year. When you read the papers, pedestrians are about 10 times more likely. There are about 10 times more pedestrian fatalities than there are cyclist fatalities. And this has to do with distracted drivers, it has to do with driving under the influence, it has to do with speeding. And these are issues that affect all of us, whether we're driving, walking, or cycling, but cyclists are vulnerable road users, so that's an important part of the issue. And then we have what we're discussing today, which is one of the most tragic situations, enforcement of the laws, when someone fails to stop after hitting a cyclist in an automobile. It's something that it's hard to understand. It's not always an issue of driving under the influence or an undocumented person. Sometimes people just panic and drive away from the crime scene. It's a real tragedy that goes involved. So how do we make progress on these events? We believe, like Houston believes, we make progress through a process of cooperation and mutual respect between the parties. And we're really pleased with the progress that's being made on this front with the city of Houston as well as with the Houston Police Department. It's a journey. From my perspective, this is a journey of hope, because we really are seeing a lot of change, and it's a very positive thing. And Bike Houston is really grateful for the work that's being done on this front. We're using today's opportunity to recognize the work that's been done by the Houston Police Department, and specifically by the Hit and Run Department, and specifically by Officer Yadira Estrada, who's standing behind me here to the right. And we're really pleased to have the opportunity to recognize her work, and also to recognize the work of Crime Stoppers and the team that is working day and night as a nonprofit as well to bring these tips forward and help drive justice. So I think to wrap up, by working together, putting these teams in place, having regular communication, we have a process, which combined with the goal of uniting all the cyclists in the city of Houston, because there are a lot of them, we'll grow as an organization, we'll have more resources and more people to put behind this effort, and we will be able to convert Houston into one of the best cycling cities in the country. That'll do two things. It will make us one of the most desirable cities to move to if you're trying to decide where you want to live and raise your family and take people out on the streets on the weekends, where to locate your company, which is what we need in terms of economic growth. It'll also help the bottom 25% of the pyramid, people that don't have automobiles, that are working hard to get to their jobs, to get home at the end of the night with their tip money from busing tables, whatever it may be, and rely upon the rely upon the bicycle to move around the city, to do so in a safe fashion. And so that combination is really going to benefit everyone in our society, and it's a great journey. So we're really pleased to participate in this process and help assist on that journey. Thank you.